What is a Pints Properties? Why should I do one or consider doing any sort of meetup event for lead generation within my business? If I were going to do that, how? How do I even start one of those? And then some closing thoughts. Okay, so what is a Pints Properties? And you can attach your name, your brain to Pints Properties if you want, or you can just think of this as a meetup of sorts. Whether it's a meetup, you can think about this as a buyer seminar, a seller seminar, basically any event to get people together. But for my example, Pints Properties, because that's what I did. Okay, Pints Properties was a real estate meetup, specifically a real estate investors meetup that I created because I had no one to talk about real estate investing my first year in real estate. This was back in 2018. I'd gotten my license and I really wanted to talk about real estate with anyone, and I felt very alone. And so I started the meetup as a means to bring people together. And I realized that, maybe they don't want to come hang out with me. Maybe I'm not that exciting, but if I add some beer, especially since I was in a military town, I was in the Army before, I was like, people might come and grab a beer and hang out with me, right? And so that's how Pints Properties came to be. And now, since 2018, when I started it and 4 people showed up to my very first event, it is now nationwide, which is pretty cool. It's in 25 cities and 15 different states in DC. It's free to attend and it's free to host. So if you guys do want to start a meetup, you're more than welcome to start a Pints Properties if there's not already one in your area. But first, you're like, Shelby, why? Why would I do this? So in the chat, I know you guys love this. You're like, no, don't talk to me. I don't want to participate. In the chat, what are some reasons why you might want to start a real estate meetup in your community? I don't know if you guys talk here, if this is like a talking one of these things or.
In the regular chat, that's where you want it?
Yes, please, Dorothy. Thank you so much. Crushing it.
I'm
or
trying to
it say it out loud.
Type message here. That's pretty clear.
Okay. I can't see it, but no worries. Network. Yes, great. Collaboration. Thank you, Angela. Oh yeah. Find properties, Dorothy. Yes. Okay. Awesome. So most people, when I ask that question, they start with, very nice things. I call it Mother Teresa shit, where you're like, let's build relationships. Let's provide value to the community, which is true, but also let's be real. We want some leads. We want some deals. Maybe you're trying to grow your team of agents and you want to attract them into your world. Maybe you want just brand awareness. Because I don't know if you've ever noticed that person with the slammin' good meetup in your market is the one that everyone thinks of when they think about real estate. Wouldn't that be cool if you were that person? Okay. Y'all are quiet. It's all good. Okay. So besides Dorothy, you're awesome. Okay. If I were able to show you how to get all of these things, leads, deals, agents, opportunities, brand awareness, organically, in a non-salesy way and for free, would you be interested?
I always like free.
Yes, we do. We love free. Okay, perfect.
Yes.
So, yes, we have a couple people who are interested. Awesome. Well, perfect. Just in case you're sitting there and you're like, I'm not sold yet. I want to share what it's done for me. So who am I? I didn't even introduce myself. My name is Shelby Johnson, and I'm 33 years old. Clearly I didn't update my slides since the last time I did this. I'm 33 years old. I was prior service Army for 6 years and out of Charlotte, North Carolina. And I've now been in real estate for almost 6 years too. 2018 was my first year. Why do you care, right? Well, my first year in 2018, I was the Keller Williams Rookie of the Year for all of North and South Carolina. I closed 48 deals as a solo agent. And then I started a team and we did 570 transactions in the first 3.5 years. And if you guys are familiar with EXP, I am an EXP Icon agent 3 years in a row. And those are, maybe you care about that. Or maybe you care that I did build a team. And then now there's 143 agents in my organization. Maybe you care about that. Or maybe you care about investing. So I acquired 74 rental properties within my first 3.5 years of investing. I've sold off some now, good riddance, at the peak. And I've done short-term rentals and long-term rentals and flips and wholesales and all of those different things. Featured in Business Insider twice. And if you're familiar with Bigger Pockets, I am Bigger Pockets podcast number 406 in the investor side of the house. But again, you're like, Shelby, why do I care? Shut up. No one cares. Okay, well, maybe you do if you realize that all of those things that I just listed came to be through Pints and Properties. This meetup played a massive role in every bit of those things that I just listed. Okay. Literally, it's such a reality to be able to get leads, deals, agents, brand awareness, and market share through being the local event hoster. Okay, you're like sold. I'm like, yes, I will do it. Sure, teach me how. Perfect, let's go. Okay, the goals as we're starting into this event planning is we like free. Dorothy already said she likes free. I know I like free. And then the next piece is as little time / work as possible, because I don't know if you guys have noticed, but sometimes, we're like, oh, it's free. And we only think of the money part, right? But time is money too. So you have to, let's make this as easy as possible and as inexpensive as possible, right? Perfect. Within the planning process, there are 4 main steps. There's planning, marketing, execution, and then follow-up, because we all know, since we're in real estate, that the fortune is in the follow-up. The follow-up people are the ones who get the money. Okay. And the goal as we are planning these events is to do step 1 once, one time a year, and then the rest of the things we just recycle. Because in real estate, if you haven't noticed already, I have no idea what the skill level of you guys are. No idea. That's okay. Maybe a variety. If you haven't noticed yet, real estate, although it's different every single day, is a lot of the same things over and over again. It's the same conversations with buyers. It's the same conversations with sellers. And so as you are building your processes, it's really important to document and automate as you go, which you'll see this is a theme that I do throughout the rest of this presentation about how you never want to recreate something that you've already created. You create it once, you document it, you save it, and then you use it on repeat. That's what my little recycle thing here is for. That's, get it? Okay, awesome. All right, let's talk about what it means. Step 1, that planning process. I mentioned that you want to do it once, one time a year, and then just be set up for the rest of the time of the year, right? What I mean by that is locking in a venue for 12 months and locking in speakers for 12 months. Speakers are optional, but in my experience, I love them because it takes so much pressure off my shoulders. Because a lot of you might be thinking, I can't host an event. There's no way. I don't know enough. Like, I'm too new. But it doesn't matter. You don't have to know anything if you are the connector of people. If you bring people together and if you bring in experts, you look amazing. All right. Venue, to go in a little deeper about each one of those. Venue, maybe you're thinking like, oh, I can't get a venue, like that it's going to cost money, right? Okay, well, there's ways to get around that. But as you're picking a venue, before you hit the money obstacle, think about the vibes that you want your event to be. Because if you, let's say, book a venue at like a library where they have hospital lighting and it's really like bland and you have to be really quiet, your meetup's not going to be that fun. But if you, for example, this is one of our events in Greensboro, North Carolina, they have like these, look at how cool, there's like chandelier, there's like these giant murals everywhere, there's ping pong and like super fun, right? So you're kind of setting the stage right away for the meetup to be whatever you want it to be. And by the way, I'm saying this looks super fun to me. If you are the type that like you want to wear a suit and you want to be, more professional, then you are going to pick an environment that is conducive to that goal. Does that make sense? Cool.
Yes.
Nod. Oh, Les. Yes. Okay. Is that, I don't know. Is that your name? Les? Did I say that right? She nodded and gave me a beautiful smile. Okay. All right, let's hit the money what is the word? Objection. The money objection. You're like, oh man, you said it was going to be free. And if I talk to these venues, they're going to tell me that it's $250 for 2 hours every month, and I can't afford that, Shelby. Well. If you have conversations with the owners or management team of these venues, you could say, hey, would you be interested if I were able to bring you more business on your slowest night? Pick your slowest night, the one where you have no one showing up. Would you be happy if I brought in 15, 20, 30 extra people into your doors? What do you think they're going to say? Yes, they're going to be like, yes. I just asked these questions to see if anyone's still here with me. They're going to be happy. So that's tip number one, is that you can ask them for their slowest day of the week and offer to host the events on that day. Another really good hack is to say, if I were able to get you five-star Google reviews every event, would you be open to letting me host our event there? And y'all know Google reviews run this world. If you don't have the Google business profile, stop what you do and leave this freaking Zoom right now. Go set that up. Half kidding. Yeah. So Google reviews, increased business, and also these other things. And by the way, everything that you see in here is a cheat sheet that I have in a Google folder that is for free. So if you do want to start this up, I have all of these products saved and I will gladly share them with you after the fact. Okay, so we talked about the venue. Let's talk about speakers, right? Again, same thing. Who aligns with my vibe? Because if you get the probate attorney up there to talk and he's really dry and really boring, your people are going to be falling asleep at the wheel here. But if you get someone who's like, whatever energy you're trying to portray, whether that's professional, whether that's exciting, fun, whatever, come to be your speaker, they bring the energy with them. You're also, if possible, try to get speakers who already have a good reputation within your market. Because what they can do, when we're getting to marketing in just a little bit, is they'll invite all their friends. And when all their friends come out to see them speak, you're going to capture their contact information on that sign-in sheet and boom, they're your people now too. Surprise. Okay, cool. So that's speakers. And now that you have the venue and you have the speakers, you're going to add it to a tracker, right? Because everything has to be written down because we can't trust our brains to do anything. Your brain is just wasted. Can't trust it. Got to put it into a system. So you have your speakers in a tracker, and you're also going to send them a calendar invite. So that way they don't forget, it's on their calendar. And if you're like, oh, I don't want to have to think of the emails to say, I don't want to have to come up with a tracker, no worries. I've already done that. So that's a part of that Google Drive that I talked about having in case you do legitimately want to set this up. And if you're thinking, Shelby, I'm a freaking top performer and I'm doing a bajillion deals every week and I don't have time for this, no worries. Because you could hire a virtual assistant or an intern social media manager to help you execute those tasks since they're already systematized. Okay, marketing. This is my favorite part of your events. This is so much opportunity. Do you guys know this guy? It's kind of, yes. Okay. Yeah, he's polarizing in the industry. I feel like you either love him or hate him, but you know what he does super well? He is known, he's loud, right? And he said something that hit me. This was back in 2019 when I was at GrowthCon. And he said, best known beats best. If they don't know you, they won't flow you. And so this goes back to, you've probably heard, don't be a secret agent. You need to share who you are into the universe, or else people won't know that you have the opportunity to help them. Same thing goes with this event. If you don't tell anyone, no one's going to show up. With marketing, of course, you're going to put it on your social media channel. Of course, you're going to put it on Facebook. But what you need to do is not just your Facebook, but go to, Charlotte is the example that I used because that's where I am. Go to Charlotte and just type in Charlotte real estate and see all of the groups that pop up. So you can see there's Charlotte real estate, there's Charlotte real estate investors, there's more investors, blah, blah, blah. There's a million of these things. And all you're going to do is you're going to draft up, which again, I have a template for this. You're going to draft up your little post where you're so excited and you're going to tag your speaker and you're going to tag your venue. And then you're going to paste it into all of these freaking groups. Because if you just share, this is the same thing with listings. I see this all the time. Agents will be like, oh, I shared it on my social media, and I'll go to their pages and, they have 120 followers and half of them are family or people from high school. It doesn't matter, whatever. That's not going to get you the eyes that you're looking for. But if you capitalize on groups within Facebook that already have, look, this one has freaking 8.3 thousand members. This one has 7.4 thousand members. Then you can capitalize on all of these new eyeballs and pull them into your sphere. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Cool. Awesome. So yeah, your own socials, you're going to capitalize on groups, Bigger Pockets. If you guys have heard of it, it's a big, if you are doing the investor thing, the real estate investor meetup, then Bigger Pockets is definitely where you want to post it. Just make sure that you are posting places that align with your meetup goals, right? Okay. Marketing. This is another thing. And this is another thing, like with marketing, whether you're doing a meetup or not. Capitalize on not just your sphere of influence, but your homies' sphere of influence. And I'm talking about your friends, your vendors, agents, partners that you may know, because don't just invite, hey, come to my meetup. Talk to your vendors like one-on-one and be like, yo, dude, this is a great thing for us to do together. How many people within your own network do you think that you might be able to get to come to this event? And then we can have a beer with them, hang out, build relationships, X, Y, and Z. So then if you get your lender partner to turn around and invite everyone they've ever met, and you get your contractor to do the same, and you get your inspector and your insurance provider, the chances of you having a blowout event are so much higher than if you just invite that lender or if you just invite that insurance provider. This takes effort and energy, but that's how you're going to get the people at your event and people talking. Email blast, sure. When email blasts come in, you're like, oh, spam, delete. You don't even care about me. But one-on-one messages win every time. Again, to go back to the listing example, same thing. If you're like blasting people out with a very generic thing in your CRM, totally different than having, even if it's a templated, but in your voice, copy and paste kind of message, and then going to Instagram DMs or going to your text and being like, yo, dude, I just had a listing come out, it's kind of in the area that I think you're interested, whatever you say. But if you send it one-on-one, the responses are like, oh, thank you so much for thinking of me. Whereas if you blasted at it, you were just in their spam, or now you're on their naughty list because they're mad at you for spamming them. Does that make sense? Cool. More marketing. Another great thing to do is go to other people's events. You're going to find all the other events. You can go to meetup.com. You can go on Facebook and look for events, and go to all of them, make friends, and then invite them to yours. This is another good thing you can do when you make friends, guys. You probably know this, but just in case, giving out business cards is not the way. This is 2023. You give out business cards, that business card is going to go in their pocket or in the trash can. It's going to go through the washing machine, and you don't have control. And it's all about really control. Whereas if you, instead of being like, here's my card, let me know if you know anyone who's looking to buy, sell, or invest. You have this conversation and you're like, oh my gosh, what's your number? I'll share my digital contact card with you. I'll share my number with you, because now you get their phone number. You can share your contact card with them, but you maintain control of the situation. You have their number. They can't wash your phone in they can't throw it away. See my point? That's a tangent on business cards, but anyway. Okay. Yep. Make friends, and then the phone number, but also Instagram or whatever your social media platform of choice is, because social media is the best way to nurture these people into loving you. It's a whole nother topic for a whole nother day. Okay. This is another really important thing of marketing. And this you can see ahead because I didn't do presenter view. This is called creating FOMO. Creating FOMO is like one of the best things that you can possibly do with marketing, whether it's listings, whether it's events, whether it's at conferences, maybe you're training with your firm. It doesn't matter. Nothing in real life is as cool as you can make it look on the internet. I bet if you looked at this right now, you're like, oh my God, Pints Properties looks awesome. Oh my gosh, I would love to go to that. That looks so fun. Yeah, that is your job. It sucks. It's annoying to take pictures and be like, because it's annoying and it's kind of weird. But if you want your event to grow, if you want your business to grow, creating FOMO and creating noise is a huge part of that. All right. And I love this part, systemize and automate, right? The whole thing. So we provide graphics for all of our hosts nationwide. So we take that off their shoulders. But here's a template email for bigger pockets. And here's your 1 week out blast for your CRM. And here's your social media template. So if you do want that, let me know. But yeah, systematize and automate everything. Still too much work, hire a virtual assistant. Although it's never that easy, is it? Nothing's ever easy. Okay, it's execution, right? Here we are, the day shows up. Do you guys know Eminem? You know, where he's like, palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy, mom's spaghetti, vomit on his sweater already? No, this is like a rap thing from when I was a child. Okay. Anyway, the whole point is you're going to be nervous and that's okay. How you help soothe those nerves is by showing up early. Show up early. You're going to hang your little Pints and Properties signs. You're going to connect with the staff and be like, oh my God, it's happening. I'm in the room back there, right? And then you're going to get them to help you test the equipment. Because if your speaker shows up, your guest speaker shows up and he's like, okay, here's my slides. And you try to plug it in right when you're supposed to start and it doesn't work. It promise that will happen. Show up early, test your freaking equipment. Cool. And then since you're there early, you're going to have time to get your sign up sheet ready. Y'all, if you don't do a sign-in sheet, this is a huge missed opportunity. And I actually see people with events do this all the time. And it just actually blows my mind. It explodes everywhere because your contacts is one of the main goals of this. I mean, there's a ton of goals, but like having the contact information so you can follow up and keep in touch with these people is everything, right? So this is a very old school type of thing. You can print this, you can have them handwrite. I would not recommend it because people's handwriting is terrible. You can do an Excel sheet like the example that I've shown, or you can do, you know, a QR code that goes to a Jot form that automatically feeds into your CRM. I just didn't want to get too tech savvy in this. But yeah, so you're going to ask them questions and get their contact information. I highly recommend name tags too, because it's awkward, especially when you've had the meetup 3 months in a row and you still do not remember poor Dorothy's name. And she's like, Shelby, I've met you 3 times. It's really awkward. So don't do that. And then as the execution goes through, it is your responsibility to be the host, be our guest plus the photographer, because if you don't do the photographer piece, then you don't have the ability to do the FOMO piece and you lose a lot of momentum that you could otherwise have had online. Oh, create FOMO. See, give my slides away here. Okay, it's time, you know, it's freaking 6:30. The speaker is about to start. Actually, it's 6:25 because you're going to give them a 5-minute warning, right? You say, okay, hey guys, we're going to start in 5 minutes. Get your last beer if you want to. Come on and sit down, silence your phones, right? And then right on time, freaking be punctual, in my opinion. Thanks for coming. Introduce yourself with purpose. And I say this because I've seen hosts do this time and time again where they're like, hey guys, thanks for coming. Here's our speaker. And then they sit down. Y'all, it is your time to be like, hey, I'm Shelby and I'm with 5 Pillars Nation. We are investor savvy real estate agents here for you. You know, that is your moment to just sneak it in there and then be like, we're so excited to have guest speaker here today, blah, blah, blah. Reminder to sign in, hype the speaker. And then that's the intro, which I have a script. You guys know I have a script for you. Oh, script. Okay. But on the outro, it's also taking the group picture. It sucks. It's annoying. I always make a joke. I'm like, hey guys, get together for the most fun part. Let's take a group picture. And they're like, I hate it. And I'm like, look like you like each other. Yay. You got to do it for the FOMO. Okay. And then the host script, the sign-in sheets, make yourself a go bag so you never forget things. That's execution. And now follow up, follow up. That's what it stands for. Okay. Have to do it, right? You're going to time block after your event, time on your calendar. So that way you can go through the sign-in sheet. If it's not automatically added to your CRM, you're going to add it to your CRM. You're going to send your, thanks so much for coming. Here are the slides from our speaker, looking forward to having you next month. And you're going to follow up with any meaningful conversations that you had, because every conversation that you have, they're there for real estate, y'all. Even if they're there for investing, most people are real estate investors. Meetups don't end up doing anything, but you know what they eventually need? To buy a primary residence or to sell their house. So cool. Closing thoughts. You don't need to know shit. I kind of addressed that already. It's like, you don't have to be an expert in order to host a meetup. I promise you, you're overthinking it. And if you commit to reps over time, you will see success. But you will not see success if you try it once, twice, or 3 times and then give up. But that is like everything in life or business. So that's just the way it is. You got to keep going, get those reps in. And it can totally change your business. And guys, now is our time for questions. So this is my phone number. This is my email address, Instagram, I should tell you. 5 Pillars Nation is a community for agents to go to transform into business owners. I'm really big on we're business owners. We're not living in chaos, although this is a community. So you guys probably already have that. But if you don't have that and you're looking for more, or you're looking for coaching, hit me up on any of these things. Oh, and listen to the Agent Goldmine and Real Estate Rockstars podcast. I'm the host. So unless you think I'm annoying, then don't listen. I know I'm a lot. Okay, questions. Anyone?
Wholesale. I have a question. Wholesale. I
Wholesale,
love
yes,
wholesale.
ma'am.
I'm good at it. I'm an EXP agent. I was told I can't as an agent because of fiduciary relationship. How do you get around that?
Yeah. So is this thing recorded? It is. No, it's live. I don't know. Okay. The point is, almost every agent or leadership who's a traditional residential real estate agent does not understand wholesaling. They don't. And also, by the way, this is very state specific. So it depends on your own state and depends on your own relationships with your brokerage. But wholesaling is not illegal, and it's you're not representing anyone in those. I mean, generally, when I do wholesale deals, I'm not representing them as their agent. It's normally I'm a party within the transaction. And so I don't see how that could be a problem with the fiduciary responsibility. I'm not representing you. In my opinion too, it's and that's the thing. Dorothy, we might want to talk offline about that one. So hit me up.
Okay.
More questions?
I'll find you.
Yeah. Oh, they're right here. It should be on the screen. You guys see my screen?
Yeah, I do. And I took a
Okay.
picture.
Okay, perfect.
There it is. There it is.
But any other questions? We'll talk wholesaling all day afterwards. Nothing. Nothing at all. Are you guys actually going to do this?
I have done it. I think, and I like your ideas. They're really great. Lively.
Dorothy. Diana, you're going to do this?
I have done already. And the other way to get your meals paid for is to ask a mortgage broker. They're hurting for business,
Totally.
To come in and sponsor it.
100%. That's a great point that I did not include. Thank you, Dorothy.
You're welcome.
What's up, Diana? You're going to do it.
Yeah, I definitely am. These are great ideas. Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're so welcome. Y'all are so quiet. It's I'm talking. I'm besides Dorothy, you're good with interaction, but
I'm so excited.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Any other questions either about this or about anything in real estate? I know I do this a lot. Put my arms down. Okay. No.
Great
Okay.
job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Can we have the slides?
Oh, you totally can. I haven't sent them to anyone. So let me, I think if I stop share, I can add them to the chat. Let me do that. And then you guys can pull them down before we leave.
Thank you very much.
Of course. Hope this is the right one. Yes. Okay, it's loading to the chat. We're all on the edge of our seats here. Okay, 75%. We're getting there, guys.
What's your favorite kind of property to market as an agent?
Oh my gosh, you mean to market, to acquire, or to market? Because I'm to sell. I like the beautiful, updated flip, or
To become an icon agent. what kind of properties do you focus on?
Oh, well, so specifically within my transactional career, I have not, if I could do it again, I would do it differently. So with me, I did a lot of investor transactions and I did a lot of VA home buyers, the military home buyers. And I was in a very low price point market. Like my first year in real estate, this was in 2018, my average sales price was $155,000, which is like absolutely crushing now that I'm like interviewing these people on podcasts and they're like, yeah, my average sales price is like 500,000, or like I'm luxury and I do like 2 million. I'm like, oh my God. Took me 6 months to close that much volume. Yeah. So all that to say for Icon it's cap, and then you have to do 20 extra transactions. So like for me, it didn't really matter about the specific properties that I was marketing to. I did a lot of the investors and I did a lot of the VA buyers and sellers, like military sellers. And it was just a bunch of reps. You know what I mean?
Okay, good for you.
Things. If I would do it again, though, I would absolutely do like very specific geofarming. Like I would do my neighborhood and the surrounding neighborhoods, and I would farm the crap out of them, which I have. How?
Yeah. What would you do?
Oh, I would layer a bunch of things, which is funny that you say this. I actually have a cheat sheet for that too. Let me put it in y'all are just getting all the little cheat sheets here. Yes.
We love cheat sheets.
Okay, good. I got them for days. So I just sent this geographic farms. So I literally have it all listed down in here, but I'll just talk through what I would do. I would start a Facebook page for my community. Even if they already have one, I would probably start another one depending on how big it was. And I would do any listing. Like if you're starting out, you don't have listings to start out, right? I would offer to do open houses for any listings that happened in that neighborhood. Go to the listing agent and be like, hey, I'd love to make you look really good in front of your seller. Do you mind if I host open houses and bring you guys a buyer? And then I would do open houses. And when I did those open houses, I would market the crap out of them on the Facebook page, but also through flyers, through door knocking. I would call depending on what was happening, how big my area was. I would go to all of the events and if there weren't events, I would create some, and I would be the person within that neighborhood in many different ways, also social media. And this is why I feel very strongly about this. It's because as real estate agents, when you're starting out, especially, you want to take anything that comes your way, right? You're just like, oh, I need any business, please. And then you find yourself driving, an hour here, and then you're doing a $40,000 property here, and then you're doing a 700. Like there's no consistency, and there's no way for you to become an absolute expert in a small area. And I believe 100% that the riches are in the niches. And if you can really niche down and become an absolute subject matter expert about a specific area, and freaking know it inside and out, and know everyone who's in that area, everyone coming in and out, everything that's happening, then that's the way that you can do a ton of business and not have to drive all over the place. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Great job.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any more questions? So fun. I think we have like 5 more minutes maybe, or we can leave, whatever.
I actually need to run to a client, and I will call you later, and thank you.
Perfect. Sounds great. Bye, Dorothy.
Bye.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. I hope to see you guys all on the Instagram. Okay, bye. Bye.